What we're seeing in transportation is that there are three areas that one can think about: the vehicle, the infrastructure, and the driver. And the work we're doing in the Age Lab with the insurance industry, the auto industry, and NGOs around the world is really trying to rethink of how do you retrain the next generation driver to drive longer, safer, or to decide when it's time to no longer drive? How do we improve the car with autonomy and robotic applications to the vehicle, making it possible that we can give up more and more control? Is that an opportunity to keep an older driver or older passenger mobile? But probably one of the things that's going to be the slowest and yet the most difficult is changing the infrastructure. Everything from the speed of the crossing lights to the idea of how do we actually allow people to be able to merge better on very busy highways. So really the lab is trying to rethink all of these to make sure that we remain mobile. Because frankly, before you do anything, you've got to get there first. So transportation is ever important. Probably the thing that I am most excited about watching in the lab, and frankly developments around the world, is autonomous technology going into the car to compensate for drivers, frankly, of any age, its ability to head off a collision or hit a pedestrian. That's the good news, but it's filled with challenges. Learning that new technology, adapting it, and ultimately trusting it is going to be a major behavioral challenge. And in the lab, it's not just about technology. It's about taking technology, behavior, and driving innovation to make a better change for life tomorrow. Real innovation, be it transportation, health, finance, or anything in society, needs to come from a systems perspective. That means multiple stakeholders need to come together. So one of the challenges we're seeing is that we really need the industry to speak more to the consumer electronics industry, who's in many cases driving change into the car, to work with government as to what those new standards are for safety and operation. Probably one of the things that we've seen in the lab that I found very interesting was that older adults, when they're confronted with new technology, will learn, will use, and embrace new technology. Younger adults certainly do the same and maybe even a little faster. But here's the difference. Older drivers in particular will respond to a warning, such as say a collision warning, and want to know why that system bell went off or that vibration went off. And if they don't readily see it, they're distracted as to why the warning went off. That's the, shall we say, bad news. The good news is they'll use it. But younger drivers are not necessarily better. They don't look. They never had the 20, 30, 40 years of driving experience and judgment. So now what we're finding is that younger people love the technology so much that they're backing up, waiting for the beep, or driving ahead until they feel the vibration that they're about to collide. And so somewhere in there, we need to really bring technology and human behavior together to have a more systematic approach to how it's developed around the driver themselves, not around the technology alone. The auto industry is working with us now to rethink the design of different devices and applications on the dashboard. How much information is a good thing, and how much information is too much of a good thing. Where to put those grab bars, as well as maybe even a loop to enable somebody to get in and out of the car easier. So the industry is starting to pay more attention from our research and frankly from just the demographics themselves to the 50, 60, 70 plus driver. It is the 50 plus driver around the world that buys the luxury cars, the high tech, high styled, and indeed high priced. So this is no longer just about good social policy or transportation policy. This is about good business.